Hey lovies. So I am up way later than I normally am, and that's okay. I can't sleep, to be honest with you. Let's see if I can show you this full moon in Pisces. Let's see, there we go. Okay, yeah, that's bright. See what I'm saying? Like, I cannot sleep whenever the lunar energy is that potent. Just plain and simply put. So yeah, we're actually in the midst of a lunar eclipse right now. It's the last lunar eclipse of 2024, and it is it's in the sign of Pisces, but we're going to get a little more specific with that, and I'm going to explain it to you through the lens of human design and why that's important, not just to me, but to everyone who is experiencing this. And so it's activated. Both the moon and the earth have the same placement in the sign of Pisces. Now in human design, there's multiple gates, and these gates come from the 64 ways of the I Ching, and there's multiple gates that are characterized within each zodiac sign. Okay, it gives more precision of differentiation between the energies, and gate 36. See, I'm a Pisces, and gate 36 happens to be my personality sun, which what that means is it's my my conscious placement of my sun sign. I could have my personality sun in a different gate if I was born at a different time in either late February or earlier March, because I'm kind of right there at the cusp between Pisces and Aries. But and gate 36 is right there at the cusp between Pisces and Aries. But what does that mean? You know, that's all mumbos and jumbos and numbers and words that don't really have meaning. Let me break it down here for you. Gate 36 is the gate of crisis. What this energy is, I actually characterize it by citing the Tower card from the tarot, because a lot of energy workers can relate to that. And people with gate 36 in their incarnation cross, meaning the 4 gates that characterize their sun and earth placements in both their conscious and unconscious aspects, people with gate 36 activated in one of these placements, you know, they have it hard. They know what it means to thrive in a state of crisis, because they carry that very energy within them everywhere they go. And it's funny. I've been connecting with my clients today, but I received a card pull today that was quite unexpected. And it had to do with clarity, and it had to do with gaining that clarity and awareness. And both of the cards that were pulled were the Sun card and the I believe it was the Ace of Swords. And what was shared with me by this reader, and it totally resonated, was that clarity is going to be achieved, illuminated by the sun after this eclipse has passed, and it's going to cut through the fluff kind of like a hot butter knife. And yeah, it's like the crisis that is that's really like, it's prominent, it's everywhere. I just heard something rustle in the bushes. Oh, my Lanta. there's coyotes out here, y'all. I wonder if there's... Oh my, there's something over there. As we talk about this, it's like my heart begins to beat. And there's a part of me that wants to go and take a closer look. And that's actually, that's very much associated with the gate of crisis. It's like something about that energy is sought out in people who, they seek out. It's not seeking out, but it's like there's a level of clarity and precision of awareness that's achieved whenever a state of crisis befalls them. And it's almost like something about their functionality just locks into place, and it becomes hyper vigilant and almost like running in this unconscious state of autopilot, but everything is running smoothly despite the state of crisis. Like that and I can't tell you how many times there have been when, a state of crisis like befalls my family, and my family is just kind of like awestruck at how well I am functioning through this, state of upheaval and chaos and crazy experiences of transformation that are, that just naturally accompanies crisis. It's just something that is part of the package, I mean, whenever my younger brother took his own life in 2015, I remember everyone looking at me like I was kind of a freak of nature, because it was like I went into this zone where I was taking care of everyone, and it just happened naturally. It felt like I wasn't really even trying, and it's so interesting. My incarnation cross in my human design is the left angle cross of the plane. What does that mean? Other than the gate of crisis, what's also involved in there is the gate of conflict. That wrestling is still happening, you guys. Oh my Lanta, I'm a little bit scared now. I think it's like it's a little creature in the bushes. Okay, I'm gonna walk the opposite way, just slowly. It's all good. But the gate of conflict is also in my incarnation cross. That's gate 6. Gate 6 and gate 36 both come out of the solar plexus, which is the center that connects with the emotional waves. See, each center in your human design has a functionality. It has a purpose, kind of like the organs in your body. They're very similar, a very similar framework to the 7 chakra system of the, the Hindu philosophy and religious framework, but it is it's an evolution of those the 7-centered being, i.e. the 7 chakras, into a 9-centered being that occurred in 1781 with the discovery of the planet Uranus by William Herschel. And this was a cosmic shift for the entire collective. Whenever you see the planets, what they do is they serve as filters for the neutrino streams to pass through, just like they pass through your body, and at billions per second. Look it up on Google. This is quantum physics 101, y'all. And it, human design incorporates quantum physics and astrology and the chakra system, as well as the Kabbalah. Here we go. Let's see if that's any better. Okay, I'm sitting in my garage now, safe from little creatures of the night. But yeah, like this is what I discovered in doing these readings today for the lunar eclipse, you see there's different transits that characterize every single day, I mean, a lot of the gates change, you know, after like a couple of days, like the lunar activations, like the moon, it moves through every single one of the 64 gates in a 28-day period. So what is that? That's like 2 to 3 gates per day. And that's why reflectors in the human design system with a lunar authority, really, like, their authority is to wait a 28-day period before making a really influential decision in their life. You know, other types have different authorities and different strategies that are associated with those authorities. You know, but it's all functional based upon a system of mechanics that are connected to this matrix that we live in, this Maya, that sometimes it feels very chaotic, especially during times of stark and sudden transformational movements of transition and crisis and conflict and chaos and shock, you know? And, you know, these are all gates that I have outlined in my human design, so I'm no stranger to those energies. And what I'll say, though, is that learning my human design helped me to understand that those energies are actually a part of my inherent design as a human being. It helped to pull me out of a state of victimhood. Like, why is it that crisis seems to follow me everywhere I go? Well, it's because I am designed to function in crisis and to help others to navigate their states of crisis and their states of transition. The left angle cross of the plane, you know, it's the shifting of planes and playing fields, and navigating by way of that emotional wave but with a completely open solar plexus, even though I have active gates, many active gates coming out of an open solar plexus, so I can actually feel your emotional experience, tap into it at the intuitive level, as is the case with these open centers. And, you know, what your open centers are superpowers too. And my guess is you don't even know what those are yet. My guess is that you've had your natal chart generated, that you've probably had some readings of, you know, with tarot or oracle cards. You might have had like some sessions with some psychics or some intuitives. I've had plenty, believe me. I've gained a lot of wisdom from a lot of different seers and energy workers. You know, it's been my life's work working closely with these fields of expertise. It is absolutely part of my life purpose, working with them in a professional as well as a personal capacity. And what I'll say about human design is that, you know, I received that card pull today. I've received like 100 different card pulls, hundreds of card pulls, and, you know, since I've been doing this work, I've received so many. But what I'll say is this: whenever you apply human design to whatever reading you're receiving, to whatever modality you're using, it always intersects, and it always sheds a new illumined light of understanding and revealing so much more than what that card pull would have provided just standing alone, right? it's kind of like, you know, yeah, like a psychic or an intuitive has told me many a time, long before I ever discovered human design, that, yeah, you've been through a lot. You've seen a lot. You have helped others through a lot. You are, you know, you are like well equipped for this, and this seems to be a part of your, you know, your purpose, and it's apparent in your past life recognition. You know, the list goes on and on. But until I see in my actual design as a human being, like what I was born to embody and the energy that I came to Earth to share, like, and I can see it clearly laid out in a framework that intersects and connects the dots with all of the other modalities that I myself have already encountered thus far. I mean, oh my Lanta, the little light bulbs that pop up, Lovey, like I can't even fully express how the epiphanies just start landing and the downloads start flowing, and you start making sense of your human life in a way that you didn't know was possible. And it's a system that derives so much of its wisdom from innovative discoveries and technologies, and even modern science in you know, in quantum physics, in the study of neutrinos, how this energy flows from the sun, the ultimate life force for this solar system, how the planetary properties are utilized as filters for that energy to flow through. Why astrology works begins to make sense, not just, you know, what's your sign and what does that mean, but why does it matter, and how does it actually, you know, have those effects on you? What are the reasons why? Like, these are the questions that human design starts to answer for you, and it is a tool that provides these master key codes that whenever you are in a state of rapid transition, much like many who are already signed up in my membership, I mean, these are my peaks. These are the ones who are being called in to our orbit, because they are experts and professionals in their own rights and in their own fields of expertise and interest. They've dedicated their lives to, you know, this vast array of different modalities, and I love being surrounded by these incredible people and their skill sets and their talents, and it just being in the orbit of these masters as, you know, a community to learn human design with, alongside them. It's a gift. It's a gift beyond measure. And we're all going through our own human transitions in the 3D world, because that, my dear, is the entire point. That is the point of us being here. That is what we are meant to be doing. We are in an active state of evolution. And granted, I have a background in anthropology, and I've always known that the snapshot of evolution, as it was taught by the status quo in academia, is, if not entirely, mostly false. The active state of evolution that we are undergoing as a collective, you know, we are in a transitory state of what it means to be a human being. We are not what we once were, like just a couple hundred years ago, and we are not yet what we are going to become. Okay? Like, we are on the precipice and the very edge of a great global cycle shift And we will be shifting from the cross of planning that we've been in for the last 400 years. And it has been characterized by so many things. I mean, from, you know, the American Revolution, the French Revolution, the very notion of democracy and freedom and sovereignty, not being owned by a dictator or a being like a piece of furniture tied to land in a serfdom. You know, this is human history that is applicable to our current state of beingness, but we are not yet what it is that is our destiny to become. Okay, that's the transitory state. We're in a state of transition. And the collective is experiencing this, but so is the individual. And that's where you come in, lovey. Like those who are in an active state of transition, like myself, like those in this membership, they are all actively transforming into an entirely new version of what it means to be themselves, with these energies that they were born to embody and emit and share with others in meaningful ways, to fulfill an actual purpose that they came here to perform. Does this sound familiar? Because if it does, we need you in our orbit, lovey. And I still have a handful of spots open. I just launched this membership, but it's already off to such an epic beginning. We are a handful of incredible souls. The amount of support that you are going to receive from such an engaged community who is committed to learning this human design system and how it is going to assist you in navigating through these transitions that you're currently experiencing, and how it's going to make sense of your entire past in a way that is going to unfold the path for you to walk into your intended future. Okay? So if this is something that sounds familiar and it resonates on a cellular level, I implore you to join us, because one of the features of this membership is a monthly live event. And our very first monthly live event is going to be the crystals of consciousness. And these are what comprise your conscious as well as your unconscious aspects of yourself. You're going to see how it intersects with astrology. You're going to see where these planetary properties come into play, and what these crystals of consciousness, where they come from and what they mean. And believe it or not, lovey, it's going to show you exactly how it is that you can have so many past life experiences. I know that you've probably had readings where someone delivered these to you, or you've had your own revelations and visions like I have, where, you know, in dreams these recollections trickle through. I mean, I lived out an entire life of mine, an entire recollection in a 30-minute nap. I was on another planet, another creature. I mean, how is it that we integrate all of this with the meaning of the life we're living right now? The crystals of consciousness hold that intersecting key code for how it is that you are a differentiated, unique human being that has never lived before and will never be again exactly in the form that you are right now. You have never existed in the essence that you bring in this moment, in this body. Like you are a unique individual. You are different from every other human being that's ever lived, every other human being in the entire world. And yet, there is an aspect of you that has lived before. And this is the passenger. This is the personality crystal. And you have a design crystal too. They come from different places. They are seated in your body at different times, like during the birth and the developmental process in utero. It's all in human design prophecy, and it's all going to be shared in our very first live event, the Crystals of Consciousness. And I want you in there. If this speaks to you, if you're ready to learn right alongside me, ZenJen, and an aligned group of expert individuals in their own fields of interest who are diving deep into human design, many of them have never heard of it before. Many of them have, maybe they're intrigued, they've heard of human design and they want to know more, but the illumination starts coming into play whenever we start connecting the dots between the energy work that you are familiar with and these different wisdoms that human design has to offer that intersects all of these modalities all across the world, all throughout human history, you know, in every single continent where energy work has been practiced. From the ancient Chinese I Ching 64 ways, the Hindu chakra system, astrology, numerology, the Kabbalah, and the Tree of Life. It's all there. It's all incorporated in a comprehensive system that makes sense of it all, and it makes it applicable for you, customized. It's kind of like a blueprint or a manual that you arrive with, but you have never learned to read it. And I'm so excited to share it with you. It's my life purpose to help you navigate these transitions through crisis and conflict. And those are only in my conscious aspects. In my unconscious aspects, I'm here to access the channel of rhythm, which is the rhythmic cadence of the life force vitality of planet Earth. And I'm here to connect through the behavior of the self, i.e. looking into who it is that you are and helping you to practice this self-love that many of us feel cut off from because we don't know how to read our own energies. We don't know how to differentiate our purpose from others that we've seen or heard about. We don't know how to utilize our strategies based upon the aura type that we ourselves have and how to use that with intentionality and precision. Because, you know, like, we all have different designs. We're all different. And learning these differences that characterize and customize and identify who it is that you are, that's where the magic begins. Whenever you can start to put this into practice, and you can then begin to see and navigate through these transitions with precision and ease in a way that you've up-leveled because you've never seen it this clearly before. Okay? So I'm going to drop that link for you to join Human Design Connections with me. I believe there's still, gosh, I can't remember if there's like 4 spots available. I think there's 4 spots available for a founding member. Founding members, I held 10 total spots available whenever I launched this membership just a few weeks ago. And members are gathering, and everyone in there is all, you know, they're all integrating perfectly because they're the right people. And if this speaks to you, they're the right orbit for you to intersect your orbit with and share your energy and partake of ours in a mutual way of you know, you can see what real collaboration not only looks like but feels like on an energetic level of exchange and purpose. And yeah, I think there's 4 spots left available. It includes the $27 a month pricing for life. Once you lock that in, you are grandfathered into that. You receive that monthly live experience with me and other members who join our Zoom call. You receive access to the collaborative engagement and chat with all of the other members, and I'm hopping in and out of there every day because this is my jam. This is where my energy and focus is at. And you also receive access to mini modules that are pre-recorded audio-visual experiences of my own creation that I'm uploading all the time to give you the tools and the knowledge of this human design wisdom in a foundational way of understanding the types, the authorities, the strategies, the gates and the channels and the centers and all of the different aspects that make up you and your human design beautiful self, so that you can understand your energy and how it works. And that's it. Like you get so much, you get access to all of that for a mere $27 a month. And it is an engaged community of experts in their own respective fields of interest. It's going to blow your world wide open and give you access and opportunity in ways that you're not going to find in any other membership out there. I'm a different kind of teacher. I'm not the typical, just like throw this information at you and you absorb it if you do, and most likely you don't, because like I said, we're in an active state of evolution, of transformation, and the way that the human being is learning these days is different than how it is that we learned in the past when we were tuned into our mind. Now it is a full-bodied experience. That is how we are meant to be learning, is tapping into our entire body and the sensations and the emotions and the feelings and the intuitions that trickle through. And that is what imbues that wisdom and integrates it into our DNA. And so my method of teaching, as you can probably see if you've tuned into this entire, you can see that I have a different approach. You can see that this is not something that you've encountered before. And you can expect all of this and so much more on an intimate level of connection, because that's what you can expect in human design connections with me, ZenJen. So I'm going to drop that link, and I can't wait to see you in there. It's going to be an epic experience. And I can't wait to support you in your active state of transition towards transformation of who it is you're meant to be.